Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another tutorial. This is another oldie but goodie I did about a year ago, I believe, on the channel. But my original inspiration came from, this one was from Heart's Desire by Venus, and I was out popping around on her channel, and it looks like she hasn't put out any content in nearly a year, so I'm not sure what's going on with her, but she's a fantastic creator, and if you want to check her out, I'll link her channel so you can check her out. But we're going to be making this, it's an envelope. It's an envelope flip off of a journal page. So let me talk to you about what that looks like, and then we will talk about the supplies and such. So I've got a bunch of little bits here prepared. Let me actually get all of these things out of my way. These are all the things for the project that we're going to be doing. Just going to slide those off there. I'm calling them a flip pocket. So basically what it is this is one piece of your journal page. So it's only a half of a digital. Basically, if you're using digitals, let me give you the measurements here. 5 1/4 inches wide, and I believe it is 8 1/4 inches tall. Yes, 8. Well, it looks like 8 1/8 actually in this case. Nope, 8 1/4. So you can make these any size that you want. This is my first video after coming back from my trip, and I didn't find my mojo at the lake, so I'm not sure what's going on. I think I am just utterly exhausted, you guys. I'm just so tired. You know, it's that soul tired where you just feel like you can't really rest or sleep enough. So we're nearing the end of the school year, and I always kind of get in this spot when we get to the end of the school year. So school, we only have about, I think we have 11 1/2 days of school left. So anyway, let me go on. So then the flip out part is actually an envelope. So it would be like this. Let's just pretend that's what we're doing. We would put this behind this page like that. We cut this in half, and then we've got these flips. So as you can see, I decorated them, covered them with paper, decorated them. I did decide to make a small pocket out of some of this ephemera on one of the flips on each side. This paper is from the Junk Journal Studio. It's the Huge Roses kit, and oh my goodness, it is absolutely gorgeous. So many variations of colors, yellow roses, pink roses, red roses. I mean, absolutely beautiful. So everything that I'm using today is from that shop. So I will link her down below. Now, obviously this is really raw and uncovered, but that's because when I put it in a journal, what I'll do is I'll glue this on another page, and I will make another pocket out of it, which is why I did the little divot there, which reminds me I need to grab my my circle punch and my eyelet setter. Oh my goodness. It's only taken me three days to prepare this. Oh, so tired. Okay, let's get going. So let me set that aside. And so this is going to be our base. It's going to look pretty similar in that it's just that this one is a different digital. So as you can see, this one has a lot of yellow tones, and this is more creamy. The other thing that happened, which is partly what's put me kind of off balance, is I got my new printer. I don't remember if I mentioned it in another video, but my HP printer that I've been using, I've gotten the model twice now because I love it so much, but there's the balloons. It is no longer supported. It's an old printer. They don't make it anymore, and they can't update the drivers so that it will communicate with HP. So I had to get another printer. So far, so good. It's different. It's always hard when things are different. The color saturation is not as bright as the my old printer, but I have to work with it. So yeah, so that's the backstory on my printer issue. So I mean, it is definitely okay. It's a very robust printer. It should meet my needs significantly better than my other printer. It also can do two-sided, but I'm not exactly sure how to make that work. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half. So we're going to use 1/2 as the as this part. Let me grab that again. I'm so sorry. we're going to use one part as this base, and then we're going to use the other half for another pocket there. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this out to, I'm thinking that if this is going to go on another page, yeah, so if that base gets glued on another page, you would want it to be the exact same size typically, at least in my thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and make a mark at 5¼ inches right here. Okay. And then we're going to, I'm going to use this as the pocket. So I'm just going to cut this one here on this, like the digital line there. And I'm going to make it about 2½ inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and do that trimming, and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. So that is our base, and this is our pocket. So let me show you the next. Oh, well, we did actually need this. These are to cover the panels of the envelope. So I printed this pink and the yellow, and I'm going to draw those colors out of the digital on this base. So let me get the envelope over here. So there's a couple things that need to happen with the envelope. For starters, I want it to be a little bit not quite as deep. Let me see how deep I did these. I don't recall. So these are 5 inches. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 inches. So that means I'm going to open this up, and I'm also going to find the center between these 2 points to cut them in half. So I'm hoping that that's making some modicum of sense. So I'm going to just turn to my printer and cut that little bit off. It looks like it's about 1/4 inch. I'm also super stressed out because I am taking my grandson, Tanner, to a Timbers game downtown Portland, and I am very directionally impaired, so I'm feeling a little stressed about that whole situation. It just so happens that we picked a date when they're doing the Starlight Parade downtown Portland, so roads are going to be closed, so I'm going to be stepping way out of my comfort zone and getting on the Max line, and it's not what I wanted to do. I don't know what I was thinking about going downtown, but my husband and my daughter are helping me out, so we'll figure it out. So I'm just going to find the center by using my zero gravity ruler here, and it looks like it's about there. So I'm going to make a mark here at the 6 or at the 0, whichever way you look at that. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half. I'm only going to cut it to the fold line of the factory fold of the envelope. So let me hope that this works out well. This makes me a little bit nervous. I always go a little bit too far, but that's all right. So that's what you're going to end up with. So you're going to end up with this piece that's in half. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and glue this edge. We want this open because that's our pocket, right? That's our tuck spot. And here. So I'm going to use my white glue, and I'm just going to put a bead of glue on these 2 edges. So let me just open them up to make it a little bit easier to see. So this edge and this edge. So I apologize if this is something, some of you have been around since I did this the last time, so I do apologize for the repetition for those of you who've seen it before, but my well is dry, so I'm just going back to some oldies that I've done some time ago. I'm going to go ahead and close that up. Okay, close that up. And then let's just give that a squish. There we go. So now our pocket is still open here. I do like to slide my metal ruler in there just to make sure that my glue didn't take up a lot of the landscape on this one edge. So I'm just gently pushing into that without opening it. Okay, same here. Push into it without opening it. I'm just going to slide that in all the way. And then, boy, long ruler. and then just kind of push it over a little bit. Okay, there we go. So now we can attach this to this, but I first need to, I'm going to ink all around this. I'm going to ink around my envelope. Well, yeah, I don't think I need to ink around the envelope the way I'm doing the papers. So we will have to cut the papers together. I didn't prep that, so my apologies. I'll probably speed up through that once I show you the first. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do a thumb notch here on this side. And I'm just estimating. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want each of these to line up. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up, and this pocket is going to go this way. So I'm going to just put this behind here and line it up so I can get, I should have just put them together to start with, but I didn't think of that. So that's okay. And I'm just going to cut that again, punch that again. Okay, just so that they're, if one's crooked, they're both crooked, right? There we go. Okay. And that. Let's just ink this up too. I'm trying to not make this video too long. Again, I haven't created in since before I left, so literally haven't done anything. So, yikes. Okay, so now this is ready. This is 65-pound paper. I would suggest that you have a fairly substantial page to put it on because it's going to carry a lot of bulk here. Just get that unstuck there. Okay, so I'm going to put glue on the back of this flap, and I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac so I have an opportunity to move it. Okay, I'm just going to try to push that down, and we can always just kind of move this because we're using Fabri-Tac, so we have that flexibility. I'm going to scooch it over a little bit so that we don't have any binding on that fold, and that looks about even. I'm just going to turn it over, make sure I don't have any glue goobers there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like that. Thought it was upside down there. Okay. And then let's just, oh, that's the wrong thing. Doggone it. What did I do? Oh, I'm covering that up. Maybe we'll do, oh, darn. I think I'm going to have to do, maybe we'll make this pocket out of a different paper. Let me think about that a second. I wasn't thinking about the direction where these roses were landing, so that's okay. So now what we want to do is we want to cut 4 panels to fit in this space. So let me just do a measurement here. So we want them to be 4 and, let's just say 4 7/8. 4 7/8 by, goodness gracious, by, let's say 2 and, let's just go 2 5/8. 2 5/8. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut 4 panels, and again I'm going to be using these 2 pieces of paper, so I'll cut 2 out of each. I will just speed up through that part so you can kind of still watch what I'm doing without it being too lengthy. So okay, this was a little bit rough, but let me talk to you about it. It's kind of flipping and flopping around there a little bit. I always prefer to measure against my project, mark against my project versus measure. The measuring is difficult for me for some reason. Okay, so let's decide which color we want on the inside and which we want on the outside. Well, let's see. Kind of want the yellow here. Kind of want the yellow on that side. Is that hanging over Goodness gracious. Nope, it's not. It's going to be perfect. So let's go ahead and do these first because they're not as tricky as the other side, because the other side you have to be mindful of this pocket opening. Otherwise you'll close up your pocket, and we don't want to do that. So let's start with the yellow. If you wanted to, you could trim this off a little bit more so that you didn't have it kind of rubbing, but I don't think it's a problem, so I'm not doing that. Perfect. Oh, I love that look. This one's a little bit, it looks like it's a little bit off. No, maybe not. Let's slide it so it looks a little more even-ish. There we go. So we're still open on that end. I'm going to flip this over so that we can cover this side. So when you're doing this, you just want to make sure you don't get any glue in this area. So I will continue on. Okay, so to do this, I like to use my Fabri-Tac in this area, and then I just use a little white glue here, and then we'll have to put a little bead of white glue there. So let me flip that one back so we don't get it in the way. Make sure that everything looks good and even. That looks great. Let me erase that pencil line. There we go. Okay, so I am comfortable putting my Fabri-Tac on first because it stays wet longer. And then a little bit of white glue. Got to turn this here and here. And I try to bump it up there first so that I can make sure I capture that white glue there. Okay. So let's use our ruler, make sure everything is nice and open. There we go. Our pocket is open. Beautiful. My prototype, I didn't do that, and I realized it after the fact, and then I had to get some parchment paper in there to keep it open, so it's all right. Okay, bump that up into that white glue area, and boom, just like that. Such an easy project, you guys, and so effective and loaded. You know, I love my loaded ephemera, so there we go. Absolutely beautiful. Woohoo! So I'm thinking that I want to put some of this pink as that pocket instead. So let me think about how I want to do that. I really don't want to cover those up. Bummed about that. I really want to like print on vellum, but I don't know how that's going to work in the new printer. I may have to, I'm keeping my old printer hooked up until I exhaust all of my ink, and then I will be done with it. But then if I can't print vellum on this one, I'm going to cry. But at least I'll have an alternative. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do a belly band on this one instead. And that way we won't take up too much of the landscape. So I'm just going to do about, let's do about a 2-inch belly band. So I'm just going to slide this into my cutter. Just an unexpected detour. Yeah, that will be fine. Okay, let's ink that up. There's always a way to fix something if it doesn't work out for you. It doesn't visually look pleasing. Just try to think outside the box to rectify it. So that way we don't lose. I don't want to lose those roses, so that they're really beautiful. Okay, a little bit of glue on the top and the bottom. Belly bands are nice because they hold a lot of ephemera because they're the height generally of your journal page. So they're very robust in terms of what they can hold. So there we go. Beautiful. Okay. So let's do some decorating. The first thing I want to do is my prototype. I didn't do anything in the pockets yet. This is probably going to go in my reference journal. But I cut some cards out of some of the ephemera. These are actually the pages, and I just cut this section out to make journal cards. So we were going to use both of those. So, and I do have some tabs and such as well that I thought we would put on these. I'm debating on if I want to round those corners. I don't think so. Let's just ink them up. I'm thinking these should both fit in and do double here. Some stickage there. Let me see if these are going to fit. I'm pretty sure I cut them the correct size, so yeah, that's sliding in. I'm not sure about doing two though, because the other thing you want to think about is, well, this is going to go on a journal page, so that can actually extend out. So that's kind of cool. We can extend that out. So I think, let me see if it's going to be difficult to get two in there though. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. So let's go ahead and do some tabs on these. So I cut two of the yellow bits, so I want to kind of swap them so we don't, so they just look interesting. So let's ink these up. There we go. So I'm feeling like I just need to stick rows with rows instead of trying to mix them up. So let's get one of these on here. So again, we can have them stick out because it's going to flop that way. So they're going to hang out the page on that side, which is absolutely lovely. I probably won't put the eyelets on these on camera, but you know, you guys have seen me do that before. And if you haven't, you can go back and check out some videos if you'd like. So I'm just going to try to center that like so. We'll see how we're doing on time. I might end up doing that. We'll see. Okay, there we go. There's one. Come on, fumble fingers. Okay. Ah. A lot of glue, Cara-Renee. And how about right here? The rose, a rose. It says a rose, a rose. So these are going to be doubled up though. That I don't care for. So what do we want to do with the tabs on these? What we could do is have, let's see. Let me think out loud here with you. Let's slide this in here and see. Okay, so that's going to slide in like that. And, oh, still wet, Cara-Renee. Still wet. You should know better. Where are we at? Yeah, so it's just, we're too early in the game here for sticking these in. So there we go. Okay, so I'm thinking about just sticking these second ones in without a tab. How did I miss ink in the back of these? That'll be all right. That one's inked. So, because if you double up these tabs, they're not gonna, putting seam binding on them is not gonna really be very effective. So let's go ahead and stick these in here. Again, I'm going to just be careful of that tab. Okay, like that. And this one. This is lovely. Really lovely. I love these digitals. I'm a big rose person in terms of digitals that I like to use. So I was really excited to see that. Yvonne, we're doing our swap journal, and turns out she's using some of the same images, which I think is kind of interesting. There we go. I love it. So let's go ahead and just stick these ones in here behind. So I'm going to flip this over just so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to slide this one so this part is facing out. We're stuck there. There we go. I'll pull that out a little bit because I don't want it to get stuck. So we're just going to slide that in there. We can leave it sticking up as high as the top of the other card, if that makes sense, like that. And we'll put the other one over here. And then we're going to decorate the fronts, and then we'll be Speedy Gonzales and we'll be done. Provided this isn't too big. It looks like it is, so let me trim it off a little bit. Not sure how that happened. It's anybody's guess. Okay, let's slide that in there. Boy, that's tight. Why is that so tight? Come on, loosen up in there. There we go. Pull that back up. I got it wrinkled a little bit. Boom. Okay. All right, so let's start with this side. So I have a variety of bits over here, so let me pull them a little bit into view here. Haven't been really watching the monitor, so hoping that I wasn't off camera there. Actually, I'm gonna go with whatever I see here. So let's start on this side. Isn't this lovely? Oh my gosh, this is going to be a pocket. And then I thought that we would do, what was our, oh no, do I only have 3? Nope, I have 4. 4 things, that's what I'm after, 4 things. So what's our other pocket gonna be? We don't have another one that's going this way. So I could do this. Oh, this isn't a pocket. This isn't a pocket. So we'll put this one here and we'll go from there. So I'm going to glue 3 sides. Oh my word. 3 sides. There we go. Just going to place, I'm going to put this a little bit on the other one. I put these bands of color over here. You can see that. I'm not going to do that on this one. I think it's going to be fine. So I'm going to go a little bit lower so I have a little bit more height to my pocket. Okay, like that. And then the other one's not going to be a pocket. So I thought we would use one of these up here and just glue it down and make it look pretty. I'm not going to do a bunch of lace on this today. I'm just not feeling it. Normally I like to layer things up a little bit with lace, but that's okay. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. And let's see where we're at here in terms of height. Yeah, we don't have a lot of room, so we'll just go like so. Okay, move her over a little bit. Beautiful. So we also have some script and some quotes. Let's see what we got for quotes here. I only got one pink one. Interesting. The beauty of the rose, that's so beautiful. Shall we put that there? I think we'll round the corners on this. I like these little bits. If they're not too small, I like to go ahead and round them. Like so. Now we could get a little bit of seam binding or something, or not seam binding, gauze or something. Let me reach behind me and see if I've got some. Oh, actually my basket's right here. Just a moment. There we go. There's some. This is coffee dyed gauze or cheesecloth or something. I coffee dyed both, so I don't know off the top of my head which one that is, but it's a lovely addition. So let's go ahead and put that there, and then we will put that there. I am going to trim that off a little bit. Okay. And we're going to use our Fabri-Tac, and I'm just going to kind of go towards the bottom here with this. It doesn't need a ton of glue, so let's get that in there, and then I'm just going to cut that little bit of excess off the bottom. So pretty. Oh my goodness. So pretty. So this is a case where my new printer automatically flipped to my paper. I knew that the printer would do double-sided, but not double-sided like I expected. So I'm going to have to play around with that and see what I want it to do versus what it's automatically doing. So I ended up printing on the back of some of these quotes in error. So we need to make sure that there's nothing impinging on that edge. So I'm just going to trim that a little bit. Oh, that's so lovely. So I have a little, the little word lovely here that I think would be really pretty on this other little label pocket thing. I'm not going to round that. It's too small. And I thought maybe we'd just put that right there. What do you think? Or over here? Yeah, over there. Get a little bit more of that gauze. Put a little bit right off. I'm going to kind of go up in here. There we go. I do have good news. Up at our trip, I normally get very ill. I'm not feeling great. I mean, I'm definitely fighting something, but usually I come home sick because I've been breathing in campfire all 4 nights. And last year I wore a mask while I sat in front of the fire, and that helped me not to get sick. This year I had no trouble with my asthma. I had no trouble with the smoke. It was absolutely amazing. So grateful. So, but I am, I think it's just pure exhaustion that my body starts to fight because it didn't get enough rest. And at home, I sleep on a beanbag, a giant beanbag bed, and I slept in a bed while I was there. So it was rough. So let's do this side. Enough personal information. So let's put the pocket on this one. This is a pocket, right? Right. This is a pocket. Yes, that's a pocket. So I thought it would be fun to make this a pocket and just go opposite. So I'm going to put this one up here. Oh, so pretty. We'll make a little pocket out of it. I do not cut ovals very well. I did a ton of fussy cutting at the lake though, which was really nice. So I'm going to hold it here, and I'm just going to glue around this edge. So I did get quite a bit of fussy cutting done there, and then I also have been doing it when I sit down and watch TV with my husband in the evening. So got some fussy cutting finished. I think I'm going to go, I want to go in the middle. I think that's the most pleasing right there. Okay. And let's go ahead and put this one on as well. This is going to be not a pocket, just a beautiful piece of ephemera. Of course, you could make them both pockets if you wanted to. I don't see the need to do that. I finally did also get all of my ephemera cut out for the Joyful Spring Journal, so I can get that finished for Kelly shortly, hopefully. Not sure. Not sure when that's going to happen, Miss Kelly. I hope you don't mind. And if you change your mind, I never feel locked in. Like if it doesn't get bought by somebody right out of the gate, then it's not a big deal. I don't sell my work, so usually the only time I'll do that is somebody actually inquires. So hoping that Kelly still will want it. If she doesn't, that's okay. Oh, that's really pretty, just like that. But that's our pocket, so I don't want to do that. That's a little bit too big for that. How about here? Would that be weird? Kind of go off this side, kind of like that. Let's go off to that edge and get a little bit more. I think this is actually gauze, this one, because it feels a little bit different than the cheesecloth, but I could be wrong. It's been known to happen often. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. Let's get that in there. Okay, we're going to put some fabric tag here just to get the initial this stuff down, whatever it is. It doesn't have to go the whole length. I don't really care about that. I just want it, excuse me, to peek out. Alrighty. It's actually not going to show much at all. That's a bummer. That's okay. That is okay. I love it. Absolutely love it. So let's find one more. So let's see, what did we do over here? We did both, so we could swap these out. That would go perfect with those flowers, but it's a little bit big because we've got just a little space there because I don't want it to go over and interfere with the pocket. So let's go ahead and use this one instead, Delicate Rose. Now she prints these, she has these labels in multiple colors. The quotes and the words are the same in each color, but it's a nice variety to tap into. So, oh, and I will be doing the flip through for the miniature Aviva journal. Completely forgot about that. I meant to record that before I left and didn't, so I'll be getting that up on the channel and let you know what the all the specifications are for that in terms of qualification. So I think I'm just going to glue this straight on. I'm not going to put anything under it just because. Okay, I'm just going to kind of center it right here at the bottom. So beautiful, isn't it? There we go. Okay, now we can stuff the pockets. So let's turn this over because I want to work with this one first because it's tallish. So let's round some of these. This kit from the Junk Journal Studio also comes with a lot of fussy cuts. I didn't do any of the fussy cuts in terms of like roses and other ephemera, but I look forward to doing that in the future. So let's just ink this up as well. Let's stick that one in there. Oh, that's so pretty. Shall we stick this little ticket in too? Just have it stick out a little bit with that little number. I love it. Love it. Okay, let's turn this over. So in this one, this is our pocket. So what we'll do is we will round these corners just to be different because it's going to stick out on the right side. You guys are doing okay. I'd love to hear what your plans are for the summer. I try not to get too bogged down with like, you know, heavy plans and busyness because it's summer break. It's a time to relax. My daughter, Tina, they are so stinking busy. It's like, what? She does a little vacation with us. She does a little vacation with her in-laws. And then she does a vacation with her own family. And they're actually going to go to Hawaii this year, which I'm super excited for them. But yeah, super fun. But she's going to be so busy. Crazy busy. Okay, we got all these other pieces that we don't really need. I think I'd like to use this one just to balance it out. And we will be just about done. I'm not sure what I'm using this for. It's probably not going to go in the Sweetie Fawn journal because you guys, I have so much ephemera that I don't even know what to do. But I'm not in a space to work on these journals specifically in terms of construction and you know, doing all that until I'm out of school. Like I'll just continue putzing around with other things, and then when I'm ready, I will get going on those. That is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. So that is it for today, guys. I will also ink this just visually for the camera for the photos, but that's what that looks like. And I will see you in the next video. We're going to do another one that I've done in the past, and it's really cool. And I hope that you guys will enjoy it. Again, it might be a little repetitive for some of you, but I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.